PostCombatMTG. Alright, welcome back, you guys. This is episode 8, and today we're just talking about all things Magic, really.
Yeah.
We're just talking about things we want to see in Magic, in whether it's this year or like in the next 10 years, whatever. So, I don't know. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I will.
We're just gonna kind of talk.
Yeah, the first one I want to see, and I know this is like everyone's kind of, everyone really kind of wants this, is we need to do something about the card stock of, and I know that like, and it's not even like I care as much. I mean, I care, but like I'm not the person who like does this for money or whatever. But I've been watching. I watch a YouTuber named MTG on Sales who just opens boxes of Magic.
Yeah.
And
I know.
Yeah, and he just scratches my itch for like opening packs, so I just watch it.
He opens packs all the time.
Always,
expensive.
Yeah. And he's been opening Ultimate Masters with the box toppers, and some of those box toppers come out
just curled.
I'm talking like you can set it on the table and it makes like a bridge. Like it is so curled, and it's just kind of disheartening because like you're opening like a Liliana of the Veil box topper is a couple $100. And it's just like you pull that out and it's bent and like that's not, you know.
And then you already get like market value knocked off of it for conditions that are
and it's completely out of your control. And even last night we were doing Ravnica Allegiance is Sealed here, and I pulled the first pack I opened had a hollowed fountain in it, and I set it. I didn't play Azorius, so I set it aside, and I picked it up later, and it already had a curl to it, and I'm just like that was been on the pack for 20 minutes.
What set did Zansha come out?
That was in command. That was she was the secondary commander in the Lord Windgrace deck. I think.
Well, Jordan gave me his copy of Zansha because I'm building her like as a commander deck,
excited.
I put the card in a deck box, and I literally went back a week later, and the whole thing's just curled. Like, and it's not even a foil. It's
Let me see if where is. Grab that red box.
Blink 180 rune.
Yeah.
Throwback to when that was a deck. Do you have a card for us? Oh yeah,
those are Caitlin's.
What are those?
Caitlin's commanders.
Oh yeah.
So Caitlin has a Kydel and Vial Smasher deck, and there is a.
They don't even sit on.
They don't even sit flat on the table, and she's had these cards only for a few weeks. They've been in a deck box. They've been in sleeves, and they are. I mean, that's bad. Yeah. And the box toppers, way worse.
It's just like coming from the standpoint of like Wizards, you're not doing bad as a company. Like you're making money.
Yeah.
Enough to make these sets that you print all the time. It's just like the like lowest thing you can do is just improve your quality.
And the thing is, they used to not be bad because I have cards from 8th edition that are perfect, and then all of a sudden on the last,
like you look at Ice Age Homelands cards, they're all like
great,
solid.
Yeah, and so I just. They're making so much money, and I'm not trying to be like the witch hunt for Wizards like a lot of people do, but they just sold that Mythic edition for Ravnica Allegiances, and they made like $2 million off it or something. Like they made a crazy amount of money off it. Yeah. So,
and I know not all that's profit, but
but at the same time, like put a little bit back into this card stock because it's getting to the point where people are getting angry about their condition of their cards, and. And I think I'm not curled cards count as marked cards in Pro Tour.
Seriously?
Yeah, so if you have a card that is curled because of the condition, it's marked, and you technically can't play it.
On Wizards, not the player.
It is 100% on Wizards. When Nexus of Fate, that take an extra turn card that as a buy a box promo, it only came as foil to the point where people had to use proxies at Pro Tour, like on camera proxies, because not one of them was straight, and I just think that needs to. Not even for monetary reasons. It needs to change for quality product reasons.
People just start playing online, so they don't even have to buy cards.
Right.
It's so much cheaper. Okay. Well, I'll just use that as a transition for my next one. My whole idea for this is MTGO and MTG Arena have both been out for a little bit. I want to see more cards on there, more game types. I want to see more people on there. I want to see it open to the public. Like. Hearthstone has such a big following.
Huge, yeah.
And, like, MTG, I think it's MTGO, is already proven it's kind of better. Or at least I think it is. I don't know if Hearthstone players would agree. But I think even just branching out online will bring the younger generation back into Magic. Because if you go up to a 12-year-old right now and give them a pack of cards, they'll probably laugh in your face. Like they all have Switches and like
right.
iPhones
I could
and
play Hearthstone on my
like everyone plays online and like it's cheaper too. Like MTGO makes Legacy and Vintage an option for people who can't afford it in real life.
I mean,
like,
even then,
it's
still.
it still is.
Very, I think a Legacy deck on MTGO is still like $300 or $500.
Yeah, but comparison to real life prices, I saw a huge Reddit thread of people playing MTGO just for Vintage so that they can.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much where the Vintage community lives.
Yeah.
is on.
So
I
just
there.
feel like if they added Commander, added like more formats on there, they could branch out to. A whole
I know
audience.
MTGO has all formats. You can play all formats on there. The problem is
it bugs out, right?
It's a little buggy, and it still costs money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it still costs money.
And you don't get the cards.
And you get them, but they're digital. Yeah. And but with Arena, we're only getting Arena Standard, and they have Pauper. You know, I want them to make. I agree. I want there to be a way for me to get introduced to Magic and other formats that's free. And I don't want to.
Just more accessible.
Yeah, I just want to be. Yeah, exactly. Because even I can't play Legacy on MTGO. I can't afford that.
I know.
Let alone in real life. We
play X-Mage, but even getting that going, it doesn't support Wizards, so I don't like doing it. But it's also so buggy, and it's always down, and like the community is a little toxic.
A little toxic is an understatement. If anyone
I just mute the chats
because we've been yelled at many times on there. But a little more acceptable would be nice.
I even thought of like, I don't think I'm the first one to think of this, but like on regular cards now, when you buy packs, there should be like a code or something at the bottom that like you scan that pack and you get all those cards on the game.
Like I think that's what Pokemon does.
Yeah,
who's still made by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, like I just think they could.
Or I think it might not even be you get those cards, but if you buy a pack of Pokemon, you can scan that code in and buy a pack of Pokemon online. Yeah, and they did that for if you did pre-release, I think for Allegiances, you got a free draft on an MTG Arena.
Because that's the biggest thing holding me back is I already have like thousands of dollars in my decks now. Right. I don't want to pay it again to put it online.
Exactly, me neither. Yeah, I already have a Duretti deck. I don't want to buy the second one online. So the next thing that I really want, and I know this was a big controversy in 2018. But we need better reprints in Commander, the Commander precons, and I'm not sitting here telling you that you need to print Liliana of the Veil or Gaia's Cradle or Mana Crypt or anything like that. But like, can we get a Thought Vessel?
Yeah.
Can we get a what's another Commander staple that's not crazy expensive, but
I don't know, even like a Ristic Study.
A Ristic Study would be fine.
$15.
Yeah, just like
Bring
anything.
It down to 10, like.
Yeah, like anything that would be fine because I know I'm pretty sure if I remember this correctly, for Commander 18, the most expensive reprint in that set was Sol Ring.
Yeah.
And that's not
like $1, $2?
Something like that, and it's.
Maybe Reliquary Tower, because I know those are going up.
I don't even know if that was reprinted. No, they didn't reprint it in Commander 18, but they reprinted it in Dominaria, which was super bizarre. Or no, they did do it in Commander. I think they did.
I wouldn't be as upset about it as if they, bless you, if they didn't raise the price of the MSRP.
Exactly, yeah. They raised the price, and we got no notable reprints.
No, if anything, they brought the value down and raised the price over the last year.
And that is Again, it comes down to, I know that a lot of players, those precons are not made for experienced players. They're not. And
they're made for introduction to Magic.
But at the same time, we need to have a little bit of value for players who are new.
Yeah.
Because if a new player goes and picks up a precon and let's use Thought Vessel for example, because it's $6 for some reason. They're going to go online and be like, oh, I need a Thought Vessel. And then they're going to look at it and be like, why is it $6? Yeah. Like, that's a card, and when you first start playing Magic, $6 is like, you don't want to spend $6.
No.
So, just put a little more value into those sets. And I'm not the kind of person who's probably going to buy a precon again. I might, depending.
I think I will. It just depends on the precon.
I usually pick up like one a year.
Yeah.
If it's good, if there's good cards in it or whatever. But I'll tell you, I'll tell you, these new commanders that came out in 2018, Windgrace, Estrid, Saheeli, and Aminatou were so good as commanders. I think they're great commanders. and their decks just fell so short. Not even monetary, like in money wise, but just in ability to play.
Yeah.
The lands deck had no lands in it. The top deck matters deck had no stuff to top deck. It was very weird.
Yeah, I just think they should put more effort into building the decks.
More effort in the decks, and I just give us something to be excited about that's a reprint.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of person who likes new commander sets for like the new stuff. I want the new cards. I want to upgrade my decks with the new cards.
An example is the Fierce Protection from Markov.
Yeah.
Like, such a great card. Everyone bought the precon just for that card because now it's $50 or $60.
Yeah, they're super expensive.
And you can't even find a Markov precon under $200.
Yeah, it's insane. So did they know that card was going to be this bomb? No, probably not. But
they got lucky. But that's an example of what to do in the future.
And like the best reprint that we got out of the new set was Avengers Zendikar. That's not even expensive.
Yeah, no.
Give us something.
It's not even played like that much.
No,
I don't think anymore it used to be. I don't think it's a huge game.
No, I play it a lot now, but I like it. But yeah, a little more value for our money will be nice, and reprints to keep the market down.
Yeah, I agree. All right, my next one, you've probably heard me talk about this so many times, is returning to Kanagawa. I don't care if it's this year. I just want to see it again. Like, if you think about all the cards that were in Kanagawa, like Umezawa's Jite, Azusa, Sensei's Top, Ghostly Prison, the Myojin cycles that people use in Joda with the divinity counters that are like indestructible.
Oh yeah,
like
those are cool. Yeah.
There were so many cool lands in that set and board wipes. Like, there's that one prevent all combat damage. It's like 1 white and instant. It's like, I don't know. It's such a good card in Commander.
Yeah.
It's basically Fierce Protection for 10 cents. And that one Michiko White Legend that it's a commander. Whenever someone deals damage to you, destroy that permanent. Like,
That's
a pretty good one.
And weren't all the dragons in there? Not the the dragon spirits.
I think that's the Myojins, right? Well, the spirits, the arcane spirits.
It's like the one that's like when they die, something happens.
Oh,
like Kakusho in that.
Yeah, that cycle.
Yeah.
And then like Moonfolk.
Yeah. Moonfolk are cool.
I just think they could return to it for lore's sake. I know a lot of people didn't like the set, but I feel like they can improve the set while still going back to the plane and like revisiting the characters. They already brought Umezawa back from Dominaria because there's
they reference him.
Yeah, they reference him on a few cards. So I don't know. He still exists. Let's bring him back.
I just don't see just because the set was bad does not mean that we can't go back there.
Yeah, exactly. And the people who say the set was bad are not very like they all have specific formats and reasons that they didn't like it. But overall, a lot of people love Kamigawa.
The lore is cool. I think the plane is cool. The cards, there are great cards in that set.
There were some great cards.
I know that everyone says like sealed or like draft was atrocious. Yeah. But again, just improve on that. Just make it not...
Because they didn't even have a ton of creatures. It was like random legends, and then they had a bunch of enchantments and like sorceries.
There were a lot of legends in that set.
Yeah, so like it was just a weird set. But I think they could definitely revisit it and redo it and make it 10 times better. I want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mark Rowe, I'm talking to you.
Please.
Bring it back.
So the next one I want to talk about is, again, the Commander Precons. A little different than what I just talked about, but I just have had this idea for a while now, and I think it's time to get it out in the world. I think every Commander 18, or not starting in 19, should come with a Planeswalker that's a Commander. And I'm not saying that's the one on the box. I think every deck in that deck should have a Planeswalker.
Yeah, that could be played.
That can be played. Yeah, so we get 3 legendaries a set per box that you can use as your commander. Yeah. Make one a Planeswalker. Why not? People love the Planeswalker commanders. Yeah. People love them, and everyone was so excited this last year when we got told we were getting Planeswalkers again. So why not give everyone a Planeswalker?
Give them the option. Don't even make it the commander.
Yeah, again, why not make a next year, let's make a colorless artifact deck. Mm-hmm. And let's throw a Karn in there. Doesn't have to be a Karn that already exists, but throw a Karn in there.
Or like in a green deck, just throw in a Garruk or a Nissa.
A little something that can make it, and they don't have to be broken, they don't have to be crazy or nothing, but to make them playable.
Synergize with the deck.
Because that also would make a new player. Like when you're a new player and like the Planeswalkers are like the most powerful.
Yeah, you think
they're
it's
cool.
The best cards ever.
Yeah, the first Planeswalker I ever pulled, I was the happiest person in the entire world. And like, so give that new player like, oh, I have a planeswalker. Like that's really cool. Like give them
the option to switch it out.
Give that to them because that'd be really fun. And I again, it won't cost them anything to do that.
No.
At all.
And I think it'll give them more options to like make cool planeswalkers. Like cool like not even reprints, but like new versions of old ones.
Right, just bring in especially because like you said, Garrick. Like we don't know where he is in the story. He could be dead. He could not be.
Just throw him in there.
But Commander doesn't follow in a story. Just throw a Garrick in there. Who cares?
Commander never follows with the story.
Right, we don't care not one bit. So
or like it's a Furia or something.
Yeah, just something. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to do that, and that would also going to teach players. I think the problem with the Commander precons is that it teaches. I know it's hard to learn Commander, and that's like a good way to learn Commander because it's a little more easy and stuff like that. But then like you don't get to use Planeswalkers a lot of the time, so you don't get that experience with them to know if you like them or anything like that. I think it'd just be all around good because then you have new Planeswalkers that are cool. The new players are going to be excited they get Planeswalkers, and then returning players are going to have cool new commanders that they can mess with, and I think that's just.
I think that also helps with your previous point of raising the value of the set too, because most planeswalkers are a few dollars. Like the cheapest planeswalker I think is like $4 or $5.
Yeah, so. Yeah. At the end of the day, even some lower tier planeswalkers are still $5-6.
Like $5 to the set value when you're raising the MSRP like $10. Yeah. So like. I feel like that's the
I just think that would be. I just think that would be really cool to see one in a per deck per year.
Mine kind of transitions with your commander theme, but I want to see more partner commanders. I know a lot of people say this. Yeah. I don't even want to see them in a pre-con. Like, I just want to see them printed, and I want to see 3-color partners. Imagine doing 5-color partners with the 2 and the 3. Partner them together, you have a 5-color deck.
That'd be cool.
With 2 really good planeswalkers, like a Kaidal and like a 3-color.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Or even if they don't want to do 3-color partners, just more 2-colors that we can pair with. I just think so many people use the partner commanders and make so many cool weird jank decks with like the 2 themes. And I think they could also throw in more tribal with the partner commanders.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Tribal's been on the come up this last like few years with just Magic in general.
Yeah.
You see a lot more tribal decks. So like if you throw in a partner commander that gives all your merfolk +1/+1, and then you pair that with Kaidal, like that's a broken deck. Like
I also think that if they do more, because right now it's pretty set in stone what you play.
Yeah.
Kaidal Vial Smasher, Thrasios Vial Smasher.
Yeah. I've seen a few alternates.
Tymna Vial Smasher, Thrasios, and
I see the Boros one a lot.
Oh, Bruce Tarl.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
paired with other
other
colors.
But there's kind of like almost a formula to the partner commanders now.
Yeah.
So let's shake that formula.
Yeah.
Because let's make something that makes one of the underplayed partners crazy good.
Lot better.
Yeah, we can.
And then you see so many more decks being built. So many I'm just tired of Commander being the same decks played over and over again. Like I want to see variety. I want to see cool stuff. And I think partner commanders can do that.
Because there hasn't been I don't think there's been a commander that's come out in a pre-con or otherwise in a while that's really shaken. No, I think Markov was the last one that shook everyone. Was like, oh, I can.
I don't know. I was thinking even Joda for a second, but I don't think Joda's even that played anymore. It was played a lot when it came out, but now it's like
no, he fizzled out a little bit.
Play another 5-color deck.
And
Nikila. I feel like that's the only commander that's pretty tier 1 right now.
Yeah, and it's
the warrior one.
Yeah, the one that the red one that has a 5-color. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because I don't. I want a shakeup of. Yeah.
I'm tired of playing Atraxa and Brea and.
Don't get me wrong, like those are cool decks, but.
You know what you're getting.
My favorite commanders are the ones that I don't play any commanders that I think are like the top. If you want MTG Goldfish and scroll through the meta list, most of mine aren't.
Yeah, no.
Anywhere near the top.
Maybe your Duretti deck, but
Duretti, he is like he's popular, but he's like if you look down, like he's not played a ton.
No,
he's popular.
He's easy to stop. He's a planeswalker.
But yeah, and when people do play him, they play him as a competitive stacks commander a lot of the time, but. That's a very well, everyone thinks we're gonna get partners this year because they teased it with Battle Bond that we got these partner ideas.
Yeah, so what are they gonna do?
So now we can maybe do partners for the new commander, which I think would be amazing.
Yeah, I want to see it.
So another. Oh God, I cannot keep my throat non-mucousy. One thing, this is way off of like Commander, but I want to see them support Pauper a little more. Mm-hmm. I know Pauper's not their format, just like Commander wasn't their format. No. They didn't come up with it.
But they profited off a lot of Commander now.
They have, and I think they could. profit off of. I mean, maybe not profit off of Pauper, but if you support that format a little bit, that is a format that everyone's accessible to. There's not a Magic player in the world that doesn't have access to playing Pauper.
Yeah. Pauper should be up in their priorities. I don't know why they're not. It's the cheapest format.
Format, and it's Legacy Light. If you want a Legacy experience and not spend $5,000, play Pauper, because you can play really cool stuff, and I think it's interesting, and it's, you know, I think if we supported Pauper and there was prize support for it and all this stuff, people would play a ton more. I have 3 Pauper decks. Between me and Caitlin, have 3 Pauper decks. And I would love to
participate.
Yeah, I would love to go, like, beside like a GP or a Pro Tour, like as a side event. I think our local game store ran one Pauper event, and then everyone kind of just phased out of it.
Yeah. I think we went to the first night, and then...
Did we?
And then after that...
Yeah, it just wasn't a lot, and it was just...
I had my Walls deck.
Yeah, and it was just very, you know... I just think it's a really cool, fun, unique format that has a lot of variety and a lot of... The entry level is so low.
And do you know how many people stopped playing Magic for the fact that they couldn't afford it anymore? Like we know people alone that have stopped playing because they have a real life. Like, they can't spend $500 on a deck casually. So
yeah.
Playing a $50 Pauper deck and still, like, winning a tournament is like a really good feeling.
One of my best friends in the whole world, he played Magic with me for a few years, and he, you know, at one point was just like, I just can't afford this anymore. Like, I can't. I have, you know...
Which is so understandable.
And the thing is, like, and now he has a great job, and, like, he can afford it, but then he's like, I'm just kind of out of it, and he still likes Magic.
He's so far behind.
He's like, I'm behind, I don't feel like catching up, I don't feel like putting in the work. And I would love to just be like, hey, man, here's a list for Rainbow Tron, Affinity, Elves. No. Go build that, and it's gonna because his thing, he played Standard. He's like, I just don't have the money to keep rotating decks and all that.
Standard's hard to keep up with.
And he goes, I don't want to play Modern because I don't want to spend $500 or $1,000.
Modern's ridiculous.
So if there was enough Pauper support for me to go, hey man, like, let's go up to the shop and play Pauper.
Yeah.
He'd probably be all over it, but again, there's not. So it's
you go to the shop on Pauper night and there's probably one person.
Yeah, and it's
and then he has to end the tournament.
Yeah, and it's not a. And they did the same thing with Brawl. Yeah. They just kind of... I think they wanted Brawl to work more because it was their set. Their set, like their thing.
If they put that much energy into Pauper would be doing all right.
Yeah, I think it'd be really... Yeah, and again, like, with a Pauper card pool is huge. Yeah. Absolutely huge. How many...
Basically any...
Everyone's already trying to make that mill deck from that with that that, and then that Law Mage's Binding or whatever, that's a crazy good card in Pauper. And so they're making awesome. I got more excited for the commons in the new set than I got for any of the rares.
Yeah, and Wizards should be excited about people buying those cards because right now they just sit in like boxes and like Card Kingdom's back storage lot and like TCG Player and like they just sit there because no one wants it.
When I bought my Affinity Pauper deck, I went on Card Kingdom and they were just like everything. Like, you need it, we have 1,000 copies of these.
We have 50 of this. Like, get a foil for free.
They didn't care it. So I think, supporting these underdog formats, because we've seen them come and go. Yeah. We've seen Brawl, we have Pauper. Do you remember Frontier?
No.
Frontier.
I see it on X-Mage, but I don't even know what
Frontier
it is.
And
like Tiny Leaders, I don't even know what that
Tiny
is.
Leaders is like 60 card commander. It's with no commander damage and like 20 life. It's weird. It's kind of like Brawl. It's a mix between like Brawl and Commander more. But then there's like Frontier was like, we're going to make a new Modern. It's a non-rotating format, but it only starts from Khan to Tarkir. Or like Commander, or 2015. So Magic 2015 onward is Frontier. Okay. But no one plays Frontier. Yeah. Because there's not a big card pool and then no one supported it. Yeah. And it's just...
It's probably expensive to be good.
We should just support... I think we just need to... And not even Pauper, just support other formats a ton. Let's make this game accessible to everyone, and no matter who they are or what they do.
We're always down to having more people. More people playing Magic, more money for Wizards, more products for us, cheaper cards.
More fun have.
It's all good. It's full circle. Capitalism. All right. So my next one isn't so much like an idea. It's just I want them to enhance on something they already did. You're familiar with the Magaz Cycles.
Yes, love the Magaz Cycles.
They're called the Magi. I found the Wikipedia. The Magi. They're a group of card cycles featuring human wizards that reference other cards from Magic's history. Each cycle copies a different type of card. So there's been 4 cycles made for artifacts, lands, enchantments, and sorceries.
Yeah.
basically the one that's still going is sorceries. They've been releasing one every commander set for the last year.
Yeah, we just got
like,
Magaz of the Balance. Yeah, it was the last one we got.
Last one. They said the last one from that cycle is coming this commander set. So I want to know what you guys think it's going to be.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's interesting.
It's going to be a sorcery for sure. So what sorcery is super expensive from Magic's history?
Yeah, I gotta think about that.
Know. But I want to see them do it again, another cycle with instants.
Yeah.
Teferi's Protection, Magaz of the Protection.
Yeah,
I don't
cool.
know, like something like that. I want to see that. Magaz of the Rift, like exile non-land permanent by tapping a creature.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know.
I think that
would
would
see them do a cycle with instants.
That'd be cool. Because I love the Magazes a lot. So to see more of them for. Like, because they don't make like a Gaia's Cradle version of one. Like, they should for some lands. Like they did one for Tabernacle. Like I said,
well,
they
have
lands.
A whole land cycle.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They did Tabernacle and a couple
others. It's
others.
just each cycle only has 4 cards or 5 cards, so they limit themselves. But I feel like they should just keep doing the cycles.
I do. Yeah, I do too.
Because like the Abyss, from what is that? Homelands or Legends?
Yeah,
maybe Legends. It's like $600.
Oh yeah.
And the Magaz card's like 10 cents. So like cards like Gaia's Cradle, I want to see reprinted on a Magaz.
Like Magaz of the Tabernacle is. Yeah. I'm just actually a little curious as to what.
I mean, the actual Tabernacle is like
$1,200, I think.
It's over $1,000.
I remember we went to Origins last year and they had one, and I was like, oh.
But maybe they'll keep doing it in future commander sets, or they'll just release instants in like a new set. I don't know. It's just like Magaz of the Wheel.
Magaz of the Tabernacle is 79 cents.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're so cheap and they do such good things. The Magaz of the Balance card is such a good card. Like,
but Balance is banned.
Yeah, but Balance itself is banned in Commander because it's broken. But
so let's do a cycle that are cards that are banned.
Yeah,
because we can do it now. We've seen Balance.
What's on the ban list right now for Commander?
Primeval Titan.
I
will bring that up every time someone says ban with Prime Time.
Magaz of the Edgar Markov single player.
Yeah, this
only for single player.
Yeah, so there's a lot of I think we could do these cards that are too good because of X reason. Because like Tabernacle is a land,
yeah.
So now you pay 4 mana to do the same ability. That's fair. Balance is a sorcery or an instant. I forget which one it is, but now you have to wait a turn. So there's a chance to
I think Balance is a sorcery.
Yeah. So now you have a turn to make you play your Magaz of the Balance and you.
Yeah, it makes it more fair.
Yeah. So let's do a broken cycle. Yeah. Let's do a cycle of all the
like a Magaz of the Rift, but like you have a turn to deal with it.
Yeah.
Before it goes off.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a Cyclonic Rift on a suspend.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Yeah. I would really like that.
And that way, no one's paying $22 for a Psych Rift, which is fucking stupid.
Right.
But we don't need to go into that. All right. Do you have any more? Because I have a little sneak peek.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
We're coming up on our half hour. So.
I want to see another Unset. Or another set like Battle Bond. Me and you did the 2-headed giant tournament. We lost because someone dropped. Like, that's the only reason we lost.
Yeah, that was the most angry I've ever been in my entire life.
We almost won like the whole tournament and got a bunch of packs, and someone dropped because he didn't want to finish his last game, and we got.
It wasn't. He dropped after round 1. And
seriously?
Yeah, he dropped after round 1.
Because he had to leave.
Because he had to leave, and everyone's like, "Why would you?" And then it messed up, everything. So our record was.
We lost
good enough. Our record was good enough to like tie for first, and we ended up not getting prizes or something. It was stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, they gave us so many commander reprints.
Yeah.
Doubling Season, Land Tax, True Name, all those dual lands for commander.
Non-fetchable dual lands. Yeah, crazy good.
That's insane. They're all like $12 now because they're super good. But yeah, that's about it. Do you want to go into your favorite thing of the week?
Go ahead and you're into favorite thing because I don't. Okay. I gotta think of.
All right, it's time for our favorite thing of the week, and I'm gonna go first since Jordan doesn't know what his is yet. So last week I talked about this game, Myst Survival, and it's basically a free range survival game where you spawn in. There's like these zombies. They're not really zombies. They're just infected, and there's a fog. You have to hide when the fog comes out. Basically, the game developer hasn't updated the game since October, and I guess he's been dealing with stuff legally with like their team financially wise. I don't know, a bunch of like lawsuits. I don't know. But he released an update. I think it was 2 days ago. When you guys will be seeing this, it's like a week later. But he added like the graphics to begin with were kind of crappy, but like they were pretty like decent for a cheap game like that. And it's nice on the computer. But he added so many details now, and like. There's vehicles you can drive and vehicles you can't drive, and he there's 2 different skins, so you can easily tell. He made all custom skins now for the vehicles you can't drive, so like it looks more realistic.
That's cool.
He also made it so that you can scrap things now. So like if you need metal, you can go on a car that you can't drive and hit it with an axe and get metal. So it's not just like a block that you can't interact with. Like he made things interactable. He had NPCs. I found out there's a pickup truck now that you can like carry stuff in the trunk.
Oh,
it's, like,
that's
so
really cool.
So I don't know. I just found this one dude like being held hostage. So now he's back at my camp. It's just a really cool game. It's really cheap. I think it's $10 right now. It's still in beta, so you guys should go get it. It's on Steam.
That's so cool.
I know. I've been playing it all last night.
I love this like indie takeover we're doing. Like I really like this.
The only games people play now are like weird indie games and like
that's all I play.
Or free games like Fortnite. Like
because I'm telling you right now, I don't want to pay $60 for broken games because we know with and not the last Assassin's Creed, but whatever that broken one. I hate Assassin's Creed, so I don't know. But the one they're trashy. I don't like them. Sorry, y'all.
Come for Jordan.
No, but there's one that was like broken, like unplayable broken, and then if it's not broken, everything's hidden behind $200 in loot boxes, and it's just
even like the sports games like 2K NFL. It's the same game every year, just with a new roster, but you pay $60, and then you have to pay like $90 to get the special cards and all the coins, and it's like stupid. It's like I'm not paying that. I can get 10 games for the same price on Steam and be set for like 2 months, and like.
Right.
I love it.
Okay, I'm going to talk about something that is not something I've even done this week, but it's something I just saw in the room, and I'm like, everyone should know about this, because I don't think everyone knows about this, and that is Kingdom Death Monster.
Oh my god, okay.
Kingdom Death Monster. Okay, so I'm a very avid board gamer, as we mentioned before in this video. Behind you is like 100 board games that I own. Yeah, there's just a bajillion, 2 shelves of like a bajillion board games. So there was a game that came out on Kickstarter a few years ago, and I'm not a big Kickstarter person for board games necessarily because...
Really? I feel like you are.
I am with the right, very specific ones, but there's a lot of... You have to kind of go in there knowing
what you want.
The developer and like picking and choosing, because there are ones that are just...
I was going to say, you're one of like the few people that I know that does Kickstarters.
Yeah, there's a few I've done, but yeah, there's a lot of false promises, a lot of stuff like that. Right. So there was this guy. His name's Adam Poots, and he had this idea for a dungeon crawler-esque RPG game, and he asked for, I think it was something like a couple $1,000 to get this game started. Well, Kickstarter blew up, and I think he ended up getting like $1 million or more than $1 million to make this game. So this game. Just so you know, going in before you get all excited and look online, it is $500. Just as I think it might be $400 for the base game now, but it's a $400 board game, and the box is huge.
It's insane. It's like a whole process to play. But it's really fun.
So the whole point of this game is you are you and your team. So like me, Kevin, Caitlin, and our friend Johnny did a campaign together.
She lives on.
And you make a character, and you start off as in this world where it's always dark, and the world is made of stone faces, like the ground. And the first thing you do is you come across this lion, this giant lion, and you have nothing but a loincloth and a piece of stone to fend this lion off. And then you have to kill this lion through, the dice, a lot of dice rolling and stuff like that. And then
it's kind of D&D.
Yeah, it's D&D-esque.
I wouldn't say it's
and then
the same.
You build a like a little civilization, and you can do everything from have children to like keep your civilization going.
Like make equipment.
Stuff. Yeah, and basically you live in this little RPG world, and every year to in the game, every round is a year. You go back out on a hunt to hunt another monster, and the monsters get progressively more intense and very difficult. There's a lion. It's really hard. There's an antelope that stomach is like open, and he can like teeth, and he can like pull you into his own stomach from the outside. The granddaddy is this thing called the Phoenix, and the model, not kidding you, is this big. Yeah. It is huge.
It's really cool. You can paint them, customize your own models.
Yeah, there's a whole set of custom models, and it really is like a really good experience because there's a big social aspect of. We've had, I don't want to say fights, but we've had like heated arguments over
who we're keeping. And
who we're keeping, who's doing what. Yeah, and it's pretty intense. And the game, I will tell you, also is very graphic. Yeah. The book has a lot of nudity in it.
Not safe for work.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, one of my characters got slashed open, their stomach, and their guts and intestines are permanently hanging out.
Their ass.
Yeah, of their butt. So you have to. So I can't use him anymore because he's
Yeah.
Well, that campaign ended because he died, but
it's cool though because like every time you've played a few campaigns with like other friend groups, and every time you play, it's like a different experience.
Oh yeah, because the thing's always the same. Where we start with the lion, and we fight the lion again, go to the antelope, and it's.
But you get like different adventures.
All of a sudden, and like every time we've had a different. I mean, there was one time where out of nowhere we're back at our town, and a giant an event happened where this giant stone face comes out of the ground, and it says something to the tune of like roll as many dice as you want. And but if you roll doubles at all, you die.
Yeah.
But then the total number of your dice get you crazy good benefits. So if you roll 10 dice and you get like, let's say 80 is your roll,
you get like this
or not 80
sword
or 60 whatever. Yeah. You
like,
can and we're all like, man, that's pretty risky. I don't want to step in there. That's too much for me. And Kevin's like, fuck it, 12 dice.
Just watch me.
and he just hucks dice across the table, no doubles, and he's like, I'm good. Like,
yeah, I literally survived. Got like one of the coolest things, and everyone's like, what? Like how? Like how are you even alive? Because like there's like such a small probability I didn't die there. Like I rolled 12 dice and not roll one double.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Again, the entry point is very expensive. It's $400, and the expansions range from $75 to $200. I mean, and I get why. It's very well produced, and it comes with a full colored hardback art book, billion tokens, models. I mean, it's really cool. And
it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. There's a few YouTubers, not YouTubers necessarily, but a few YouTube channels who have played it, and it's really fun. So check that out if you. And the developer is the coolest dude in the entire world. He's so awesome. So we stand Adam Puth. So yeah, that's. I think that's it for us this week, and we'll be back next week with who knows, because
we haven't gotten that far.
All right, bye.